What's up, Aquarius? Welcome to your 2024 astrological and energetic reading. I hope you guys resonate with this. If you do, please like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. But let's jump right into the energy, shall we? So we're looking at the overall overview of the soul's journey through this year. Of course, this is a general reading. You should check out your rising sign for sure, and your moon and sun as well. So the North Node is conjunct Chiron this year in your third house, with the South Node going through the ninth house. So this year for you is all about education. It could also be about, like getting around new communities, but your challenge here is going to be your communication about where you want to go. Maybe you're feeling a little lost in life, or maybe you're feeling like you're not really sure what you need to learn or what you want to learn. But this is about soul learning and soul evolution, not necessarily like, yes, the third house represents like college or like schools. You could want to create your own school. I know when I had Saturn conjunct the moon in my third house, it was more about learning how I process emotions and learning how I respond to the world, and learning when to shut up and when to speak, and learning to how to let energy move through me fluently in a healthy way, as opposed to, the different ways when I used to be triggered, how I let those triggers, push me in different directions. So you could be learning a lot about triggers. And there's definitely going to be something about, the way that you communicate, some kind of blockage that you've had with communication, whether this communication between your head and your head and your heart, or communication to the world or outside of you. Now, you have Pluto that's coming out of your 12th house, which is a pretty difficult placement, coming into your first house. These are both pretty intense houses. So it's going to be a shift from kind of like, it's been unconscious, meaning that the last 15 years has been more about you've been attracting very intense people, attracting very intense experiences. Maybe it's been difficult, maybe it's been awesome, or, a little bit of both, right? Now that it's coming into your first house, it's about, now that it's bringing that unconscious into the conscious awareness, and molding, starting a 20-year period of molding a new identity for you. Okay. And that can be a very, very intense cycle, but this is a 20-year cycle. Okay. So it's not like it's going to happen overnight. I will say 2024 is going to kind of hit it with a bang, because you're going to have it come into 0 degrees of Aquarius. Then you're going to have Mercury conjuncted whenever a personal planet conjuncts a planet like Pluto, which is the more multidimensional aspect of ourselves. This is where there's a death and rebirth, which can express itself as an aha moment, epiphany, a tower moment, something like that, right? So Mercury is going to conjunct first in the beginning of the year. This can be having a aha moment about what you want, who you are, how you want to come out to the world. All right, then Mars will come out. Okay, now I had the epiphany about who I want to be. Now, how am I going to do that? How am I going to take action on it? Right now, in order to be able to do this, a part of you, or the old version of you, is going to have to die. So you're going to have to surrender, let go, and surrender and letting go is kind of the name of the game right now, as we shift from this energy of competition, of win-lose, to co-creation or win-win. And as the outside forces are trying to distract us, you're not going to be able to get distracted, because your identity is going to be under a microscope from you, but also from the universe, right? This is like, all right, time to step into this new world. And how are you going to mold yourself? Like, what do you want your legacy to be? It's like, this is going to be the big question that's going to be on your mind here, for the coming years, decades, really. All right. And then, of course, Venus is going to conjunct at this spot twice. So we're really coming into a couple different layers of some really big transits and endings and new beginnings here. So I think this is going to really drive you to want to learn more about yourself. A lot of I just feel a lot of downloads coming through about your relationship to yourself. You may want to travel. You could be really assessing and analyzing your belief systems in a very deep way. Now, with Jupiter and Uranus conjunct in your fourth house, this can be really great or really difficult. All right. This could be suddenly like you're feeling different, and everything at your home and family is highlighted depending on how old you are, where you're at in your world. This could be like having a midlife crisis, like suddenly you just want to be independent, and you sell all your stuff and go, buy a yacht and go live on the yacht or something, right? Or it could be like suddenly like your relationship with your mother changes, or your relationship to really where you come from or where you want to go. There's a lot of like reconfiguring of your identity here. And Aquarius in of itself, I have an Aquarius moon, right? So we're the weird one of the zodiac, but with Pluto coming into Aquarius, I actually feel that this is going to make things make more sense. It's going to make things much more decentralized and much more unorthodox, which is the way that we do things, right? Like for me, being a bodybuilder that does astrology, that's weird, right? And I also work with Combo and Bufo. Like, you don't really see many bodybuilders doing this kind of stuff, right? It's strange. I'm an anomaly, but and it took me a long time to accept these parts of myself, because like there's certain groupthink in the groups that we connect with. All right. Third house also represents groups that you connect with. So, you could be connecting to new groups, or I feel that Aquarians are the ones in this new Pluto and Aquarius age that were meant to create the groups, because they're all going to be weird. But even the weirdos are creating groups, with groupthink, and now it's going to become more, like the whole goal is to accept everyone as they are, but take no shit. All right. We're not doing that victim shit. We're not doing that competition or fighting. No, this is all about accept who you are, but do the inner work and know, you're going to come from a place of love and self-love, but good, solid boundaries. Okay. All these things are going to be coming up for you. And you're learning how to integrate it into this new identity. Literally, Aquarius version 2.0 is being born in 2024. All right. So, then coming into May, June timeframe, when Jupiter goes into Gemini, this is where a lot of like you may start getting settled into this new identity, and then the creative ideas, and you're going to start wanting to be around people, and that's where the real work is going to begin, because now it's like you're this new version of yourself, and now it's like, okay, now I got to go interact with the world, because Aquarians like to kind of hibernate sometimes and kind of do their own thing. So this is about like getting creative ideas and bringing things together. Like I really feel North Node conjunct Chiron is you want nothing more than connection, and you want nothing more than to build community. But another part of you is like, but I don't want to be around people. I get exhausted from it, or I just want to kind of hibernate, or I don't really know how to do it, or I don't really know who I am in relationship. Like, who do I tell people I am? How do I go about showing this new version of me? Right? That's what you have to discover through the surrender, through the accepting of these parts of yourself that you don't understand. So you know what? Like, you may not know how to do it, but you get invited to a meetup, or you get invited to an event, you go to it, and then whatever scares you, right? Like, say you're a guy that has a hard time talking to girls, and you see a girl that you like, and she's looking at you, and she's doing a little, double take, and you look at her, and then look down, and go talk to that girl. It's not even about talking to her; it's about facing the feeling within that's keeping you from talking to her. And who knows? You guys could have everything in common, and she could be your soulmate, and everything could be great. Or she could be the one that wants to create something that's just like what you want to create, or be in the same kind of stuff you are. You don't know, but it's that energy that's going to feel like it's uncomfortable and I don't really want to, but that's exactly where the answers are. So follow that feeling, and that in turn will activate these new beliefs in yourself and mold this identity into a confident and creative version of you. And I'll tell you what, Aquarians will create the coolest, most awesome communities. And we need more communities like this. They are popping up all over the place, but it's going to go to a whole new level. It's going to have to, right? So step into that feeling. And, Neptune is going to be going to 29 degrees. This is in your second house, but Saturn, your second house too. So Saturn, your second house, is going to challenge you financially. Now, Neptune going 29 degrees, you're going to have a lot of intuitive ideas, all right? But these intuitive ideas are going to be like, well, you got to get out there around people. And the feeling of Saturn is like, oh, man, like I feel restricted, like I don't know who to be. But you can feed that energy of not knowing who you want to be and not knowing how to do everything. Or you could feed the energy of fuck it, chuck it in the fucking bucket. I'm just going to go and I'm just going to take it one step at a time and be present. Because when you're present, you're channeling your heart energy. You're not in your head. And when you're channeling the heart energy, that's where the magic comes. But the key is you're going to have to keep bringing yourself back to that, because the mind will try to take over and then make sense of things and try to put it in boxes. You are unboxing how communities are being created. But you have to be present in order to do that. And that Chiron conjunct the North Node will keep trying to pull you out of that present moment and keep bringing you back in your head. So you have to just create a practice where you get back centered and everything's okay. And you just align yourself and the creative energy will come. Okay. So that's where your challenge is going to be. But you bet you are birthing a new version of yourself coming out into the world. You're going to, and that's going to birth connecting to new people, new situations, new opportunities, new things. You know, allow that freak flag to fly, right? Allow that weird part of you to be your specialty, your specialness. That's the thing that's going to make you create something beautiful. All right. So trust in it. All right. So I hope that helps. And if you resonate with this, please do comment below and let me know, and like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, everything is in the description box below. I hope you have an amazing and wonderful 2024. I hope.